Welcome to Moonlit Fly Fishing, Fly Tying Night tonight. I'm Brandon Moon, and we're real excited to bring to you the Supercharged Skater Golden Stone pattern. This is a play on a tire angler down in Utah named Tim King. Really awesome guy, very talented tire and angler. This is a play on his fly pattern that he calls the carburetor, which is a terrestrial type pattern, can be fished as an emerging salmon fly or stonefly, as well as a terrestrial. So this is going to be tied on one of our new ML601 sizes in a size 12. Please let us know what color you would tie yours in, and let us know what size as well, and we'll see you next time. The hook that we're going to be using today is the Moonlit Premium TOGATTA ML601. This is a standard 3X long hook with a nice curve on it. We're going to start our thread at just past the halfway point, probably about the 2/3 point, and we're using Semperfli Classic Wax Yellow in 8/0. You can use 6/0 as well. We're going to create a nice smooth thread base going just back down the bend of this hook, using that tag end to help create tight wraps touching. Once we get down that bend just a little bit, we're going to set the tag end off to the side, and we're going to wrap forward. We're going to use our thread here to build some taper and some mass to this body. You don't have to necessarily taper it, but you're going to want to build up a little bit of body mass here. So we're going to go backwards, and I'm going to go pretty much all the way back to the back because I want to create a fairly thick body with this fly here. And it just takes a little bit of time to wrap this, but I like to keep a nice smooth even taper to my body. I do like a little bit of a taper, even though terrestrials have a thicker body. You could easily just get away with wrapping completely back and forth several times. We'll go back again and then forward again. So this pattern, being that it's tied on this curved shank, that bottom side is going to kind of sit into the water column, and that's going to help kind of act as an emerger for a salmon fly. So very good for an emerging golden stone pattern. This one will work out, and it fishes as a dry fly stone as well. So we're going to continue building that taper, and you're going to see that why I want to build a little bit of a mass on this body here in just a moment when we tie in our wings. And you can see I've tapered that all the way up to the front. Now I'm going to take a copper alcohol marker. It's an art marker that I got from Walmart, and I'm just going to mark that thread with that copper marker there, and I'm going to over mark probably about 2 inches just so that I have plenty of marked thread. Set it off to the side, put the lid on my marker. Now I'm just going to take and wrap this thread, and this is going to create a nice looking segmentation to my body that's very slim, doesn't build up bulk, and very easy without added extra materials. Wrap that all the way up to that starting point, secure it down, pull it back, go over the top. Now I'm going to trim that out with some razor blade. Here we're going to take our wing. This is Semperfli's Predator Fibers Black Nose Dace. You take a small clump. You can also use Hawg wing in the Teton. Both of these are going to have some black and browns. And I'm going to secure that down, and I'm going to kind of help trying to prop that wing so that it doesn't lay completely flat down there. So I've got some wraps going back around it. We'll go over the top and secure it down just a little bit so I can pull it back. And this gives me a fuller wing, but it also helps make sure that I have a nice and secure wing. I'll finish securing that wing in there. Once I've got it, I'm going to measure it just past the bend of that hook and trim that out. You can see that wing kind of props up at about a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to take some 2mm zero gravity tying foam in the dark brown, cut the width of the hook gape, and then an angled point at the top to tie that in. And we're going to tie that and get that so that it wraps pretty much all the way back to that wing point there. We want to cover up as much of that thread as possible. Once we're done with that, we're going to take and tie in our thorax. And Tim uses some peacock and some hackle. The hackle just adds movement to this fly, so I'm just going to substitute some Semperfli straggle legs in copper brown. And I'm just going to take a strip and I'm going to secure that down. Cool thing with the Nirvana V2 rotary vise is I've got a material clip, so I'm going to clip that right in that material clip so it's out of my way. I'm going to take Semperfli silly legs, grizzly flutter, fluorescent chartreuse, barred legs, and I've cut them into force, and I'm going to measure that so that the legs go just about to the bend of that hook, tie them in on top, and then I'm just going to adjust them on the sides. I want to create a little bit of gap in these legs before I wrap my thorax. And then once I've built up a few wraps there, I'll go in front to lock it in. Now I'm just going to use my hands and I'm going to wrap the straggle legs, and I'm going to just use touching wraps, wrapping in between the legs on this back side. And this will also help make sure my legs flare out nice. So we'll wrap it up to where those legs are, and then we'll go in the middle with a couple wraps. This helps make sure they stay flared out. I'll pull the legs back and secure one wrap down in front. I don't want to do too many wraps because I don't want to overcrowd the eye of the hook here. So I'll just secure that down with a couple wraps, making sure I don't catch the legs. Once I've got that, I'll take my razor blade and trim that out. This ensures I don't cut my legs or my thread. Now I'm just going to gently pull over that foam and pull my legs back. And then I'm just going to secure that foam down right there behind the eye of the hook. Once I've got that, I'll just pull it back and put a little head base start there. Put a little super glue on there. And I'm leaving the tag end of foam so that I can use the foam to wrap or pull back and get a good grip on it. So once I've got that, I'll just take my whip finish tool. I like to use the super glue to create a nice good knot and secure it down in case my whip finish doesn't work, and it helps make my whip finish a little more durable. So we'll do a 3-turn whip, then we'll pull out and trim out our thread with the snip tool on our whip finish tool there. I'm going to cut the foam just past the eye of the hook. I'm going to measure my legs to be just a little bit shorter than the body. And then I'll trim the front legs just a little shorter than that. So I'll just kind of measure and gauge it, trim the back legs out, and then just kind of trim out a little bit shorter on the front. Now all we've got to do is trim out the little head here. So we'll just trim out a little angle on the head. And there you have the Supercharged Skater Golden Stonefly. Thank you for watching.